Hey friends, welcome back to my Gym Friends podcast. Today we are talking about friendship. Duh, friends. How many of us have them? I used to be friends. If that didn't give away our age, I don't know what. What's gonna give it away? But you know what? Before we get started, we got to do our friend check-in.
Yes.
Liz, it's your turn. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, we're nearing end of my pregnancy. We can have a baby at any time.
Right now.
I know we talked about this before, but I did get to go to Chicago alone with my husband. Our first trip without our kid, the very first one.
Nice.
So that was cool. What
What
else?
was that like? You can't just say cool. Like that was your.
Okay,
Eric's not a
panicking.
toddler.
I was panicking, very much so. Checking in, even when I call people, be like, "Hi, mom. Okay, bye. Like, hurry up."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, he really is okay." And I was like, "He doesn't like us anymore." I was expecting to get calls like, "He woke up a million times. He's asking where you are." Calls, but no. He
Okay.
was like, "Hey, bye."
Can you just tell our listeners how old Eric is though?
Yeah.
8.
8.
And never went on a trip without him. Out of the state without him.
Wow.
So yeah, and then what's the newest thing? Oh my gosh, so I just had to cancel my Thanksgiving trip. Doctor highly suggests me not get on an airplane. So I was very sad because now the boys are going by themselves. I did not want, we go to Seattle every other year, so I didn't want to ruin the rotation. So they are still going, but I am staying here, which is super weird because it's our last Thanksgiving of 3. So, but it will be fine. I'm gonna let them go have fun. Yeah, and I think I'm ready to have a baby.
We're ready for you to
Yeah.
have
Yes.
I think I'm ready. The baby just has to come. We're here.
How's work? How's that feeling?
Well, I work till the end with Eric, so I feel like I'm gonna work till the water breaks on the floor.
Okay.
Like, we're just gonna work until we work.
Yeah.
I mean, it is getting tiring. Like, I'll sit in between clients instead of stand all day. Like, we're gonna have to cut your hair sitting down on the stool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not standing. My legs are swelling a lot, so I do try to take breaks in between clients.
Yeah. How's workouts?
Oh, I'm still working out 5 a.m. It's heavy.
Yeah.
This is a weight here.
Yeah.
It's heavy, but I do go slower. I'm not like gonna do a box jump or anything or mountain climbers because that's uncomfortable. Everything against my gut is really uncomfortable, but I'm still doing it.
But like emotionally, I boxed with most of the kids. That was my workout of choice during pregnancy, and I felt like such a badass. Like after I finished, even though I'm swinging around a belly, I just left like.
I did that.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I
you
feel
can
like
tell me nothing. Yeah.
Like I feel like I hope this belly just goes away and I'm just back to.
Yeah. But emotionally leaving, you feel like you're gonna be able to do it.
Like leave my work.
No, like bounce back after the workout. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I'm in hopes. I hope, yes.
You will.
yeah.
Yeah. Like go to. I keep telling her I'm like, if it's up to me, I would go the next day. But I know like your stomach can't.
I
Just
advise
jump
against
out of the bed. Your abdomen don't let you do all that.
Girl, take a break. My God.
If it was up to me, but I know this doesn't allow you to just jump out of bed.
No.
So I'm ready.
How's Eric? Is Eric ready?
Eric's excited. I mean, they're all over me. Junior and Eric are like, the baby. I'm like, hi, I'm right here. Look at me. I know he's right here, but I'm right here. They're always rubbing and touching, and he's really excited. He wants the baby to sleep with him.
Oh, I love that.
But he also told me I get to sleep in the middle and the baby has a crib. I was like, wait, what about your get back over there? So
Maybe
Yeah.
take it a step back.
yeah.
Did you let Eric pick out a gift? That's how we
Oh
did
yeah,
it.
we
in
did do
bringing-
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the baby is giving Eric a blanket, and Eric made Ryan a book that says "Your Big Brother Eric." Ryan's big brother Eric,
Oh.
and he picked like the characters and whatever. It's really cute. So they'll give each other that.
I love it.
Oh,
Yay!
it's really cute.
I'm so excited for you.
I know.
You can be the best mom.
Oh, thank you. I'm scared. It's such a big age gap.
He'll be fine.
He's gonna
healthy
help.
now.
He's gonna help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put him
I
to
mean,
work.
think all of mine are spread out.
Yeah.
444?
No, 6.
Oh, 6.
Miles 6 years later, Nia 6 years later, Asher, and then Taryn snuck on in.
Oh, she
That's
got
okay.
the
Taryn
Bring
and
it home.
Taryn,
Bring it home.
Taryn and Asher are 2 years apart, but they definitely snuck in.
I think my only nervous is like giving enough attention. I don't want Eric to be like, I want the baby whine. Da, la, la, la." I don't even want to hear the question.
He won't be. You'll be fine.
I'll be
And
like, don't.
remember, Eric knows the baby does.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't want
If
him to
there's
be
a
like, put the
question-
baby down. Look at me.
You'll be doing that. Look at me. Look at me. Right here. Right
Like
here.
me.
Look at me.
Literally, middle child.
Yeah.
I think that I mean anyone who has multiple kids has those emotions, and it like literally never happens
Oh, good.
until there is like they're in middle school and they want something. You're like, no, it's so and so's turn. You love that boy. I mean, but
Oh,
when they're
amazing.
little, like they don't even bring that mess up, and
Okay.
they love one another and want for one another. You know what I mean? So like now when I say it, my kids are like, yeah, it's so and so's turn, or don't forget so and so.
Oh,
So you
okay.
just like.
They keep tabs on older.
It's a worry that I don't know that, you know, and I think that, I mean, that's what we do as women, right? Like we're trying to prepare for the unexpected, or the worst case scenario,
Yes.
instead of really hoping or even speaking. Like I'm on this new journey we'll talk about later. Our words have so much power that we can manifest what is going to come. The fact that they're going to love each other, he might check you and be like, you're not loving on the baby enough, mama.
Oh yeah.
Versus-
That's your turn.
You know.
That's on you now.
Well, let's go into our topic.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that we know that baby and mama are good, friendship.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
super important at this age. I feel like it's a topic that kind of is in my household right now, period, with raising kids, trying to give them the definition of a good friend
Yes.
so that they can be the qualifier or the evaluator of. And then also for myself, you know, kind of going through things in our life right now, you know, like I'm certainly not with the same group of women I was with in my 20s. You know where them heifers is at. But I'm just kidding. I just kidding. But I want to talk about like what, because it's been a big topic for my household, and I know like we are the girls are older, and really clearly defining that, like what is like the quality of a true good friend, because I feel like the girls were just so into like quantity and not quality, because that defines popular. And for me, if it's not quality, I am so good. When you were breaking that down for the girls, and they were so close too, I think that they were built-in best friends.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but defining that, do you think that them being so close helped define that, or do you think they already like that was stuff that conversation and things that you had built in?
I think it was conversation, but it was also one of those things where they had models, because Shay and I are exactly them.
Yeah.
In terms of the age difference as well. So I think they saw what it was supposed to look like and they modeled it. Now, I feel like they were a lot more confident than we were at their age, and I think we learned a lot about friendships outside of ourselves later on in life. But for the girls, I think they were just modeling our behavior, and they took a lot from that and then built on it. Now, did they go through some rough patches, especially in high school? Yes, with trying to figure out who outside of the home was truly a friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But then they go back to the standard that was set. If you can't be friends with my sister, if you don't match her energy, you can't be around me.
Yeah.
And then that was like, oh.
But I think what is significant about what you said is, and I don't know that I see it translated all the time, even like with the kids' friends, is that the priority is my house.
Yes.
They're my siblings, but they're my friends
Yes.
first. And I almost think that it's almost like not cool. It's not cool that I like to be spend time with my family, or it's like, you like your mom, like. I hear so many of those things. Like, not one of my kids have not come home and said something to that effect, like how that's not cool.
Right.
You know, to like your family, and they're, and I'm like, hey, that's not your friend.
Right.
A friend's gonna promote that. You know, I think that that was one of the things that I didn't really understand, because in my generation, and you know, it's our generation, our household was really important. Like, it was really important to protect. The people in it were really important, and we didn't just maneuver or move around the world without taking into consideration those that were in our house.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I felt like was really hard, and I think all of our kids are beautiful. Ava, though, I mean, is like, you know, so stunning.
Don't tell her that.
Oh my God. Listen, she knows it. I mean, she's walking around in herself. Nia, Sid, I mean, Taya, they're just absolutely like beautiful. Autumn is model. I mean, Homecoming,
Little
I thought,
face.
oh my gosh, she looked like runway ready. I also have never seen so much meanness because of beauty.
Yes.
Like, I don't feel like I experienced that. I experienced the light skin thing, and that was more like, you don't know you black. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I don't know. I just woke up in my own body. But teaching Ava and the girls, period, like, beauty is the wrapping paper. I've met some of the most beautiful physical people, but they are ugly as hell on the inside, which then slowly, to me, when I see them, I look and I look like, I smell like something stinks. How do you balance that? Like, that it's not a weapon, it's a gift, and that's sometimes friendships come just because, oh, you're pretty, so we should be together. Like, those aren't authentic friendships. Having those conversations.
That brings me to, I know we're getting to that, but what a true friend is, someone that accepts you for who you are.
Yeah.
So that means what you look like, what you do.
Yeah.
Yes. Do friends step in sometimes when you're doing something stupid? Yes. Or when you're wearing the wrong outfit?
They
Please
should.
Please
Yeah.
tell
Like
me.
they should.
Yeah.
But again, they're accepting you for who you are, and they softly and gently correct you if you're doing something that's going to put you in a bad situation or not a good look. That's what a true friend is. If someone is coming into your life and trying to change who you are, what you do, how you talk, how you walk, hair, nails, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah.
And I think our girls have figured that out. I think definitely mine figured it out before I did.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about Autumn and Ava, but I know.
She marches to her own drummer.
Yeah.
Autumn is not with the cliques, not with all that. She is just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
She does not give in to any of that peer
Same with
pressure
Ava.
stuff.
She's kind of in her own little world. We've never had a conversation about looks, honestly. I just haven't. I don't want to teach that. I think it's more about, you know, who is the person? What are they about?
So do you think she moves in the world not knowing that she's
Yes.
like absolutely stunning?
It hasn't hit her yet.
See, that is so different from when I was
Wow.
in school.
She's also young.
I mean, freshman in high school. I mean, she's got to be.
She's always been a little kind of naive, I guess is the word. Just kind of, again, in her own little world.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, did you not understand that? But she's in her own space. She doesn't see
You
some
know
of it.
what? I think that's the most beautiful thing. Because it allows them to form that hard shell of who they are, like cement who they are a little bit longer.
Agreed.
If that makes sense. Nia and Taryn struggled. And I think Taryn still struggles, right? Like, Taryn's sporty spice, but she's also, you know, very pretty, but sport, rivalry, like competitiveness is her thing. But at the same time, she is soft. Like, you could say anything to her, and I'm like, look, that's not Mamba mentality, and you ain't get ready to get nowhere like that. Like I'm trying to, like we got to get this together. And your TT's gonna have to shake you up a little bit because this is not gonna work.
But she reminds me of me when I was younger, and Sharia could definitely talk about that as well. Super shy, sporty.
Yeah.
Just not into that cool. You know what I mean? Just doing my own thing. But definitely, she's gonna grow into.
But the own thing is not. Listen, I can't wait.
Take time.
That own thing is really rough. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there's so many people that like, and I get maybe it's middle school too. Like if she comes home and they're like, "Yeah, we're not friends no more." And I'm like, "Well, what the hell just happened? Like, how did that?" And I have to learn not to be as invested because I'm ready to whoop everybody. I
That's
will
part
fight
of it.
somebody.
They gotta learn how to deal with that. And she's in a school where she is different.
Yeah.
And fortunately, my kids have been around so many people, so many different colors, races, everything.
Yeah.
They haven't felt that
Yeah.
sticking out part.
Yeah.
Both of them, they look completely different. And neither one of them have ever, to my knowledge, felt that or have said anything about feeling that. So
Yeah.
she's in a different space, which makes sense why she would feel that way.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we haven't had that. So, I saw whenever I say people are talking about, it's usually a TikTok that I saw. Just so you know.
We're talking about.
But I saw one that hit home for me that said, when I was the most unhealed version of myself, I had so many friends. And I think about where I'm at today, and I'm still healing and working on all of that, but the closeness of friends or the amount of friends I have is this big compared to what it was before. And probably because of a variety of different things, but I kind of wanted to throw that out there. Why do you think that we, have less friends as we're more healed or as we're on a certain journey to heal versus when we're not?
I think, and you guys tell me, you will tell me if I'm crazy, is because for me, I was trying things on. Okay? Now hear me out. So I had a group of friends I could go to the club with. I know I said that wrong, but and then I had a group of friends I went to church with. I had a group of friends that were at work.
Yeah.
I was trying different things on, and those friends did not commingle.
Correct.
I like that.
And I was just trying to figure out like what I really was and how I was really going to move in the world. There were certain people, I'd get dressed to go to fights, and I did not take everyone to a fight with me. They had to, they had to handle themselves in a certain way because I was going in representing my dad. They had to not get all fangirl, that I had to know that they were going to be with me. They weren't going to disappear somewhere with somebody because we were for sure going to meet somebody. For sure somebody was going to be famous, for sure. And what I really was trying to do is also protect that I was not some hoe out in these streets. And then, then you're at church and you are still searching and you're still healing. So I feel like I found like a lot of broken, like the people I was broken in the same places, like lumped together. So if something hit on that sermon, we're crying at the same time, we're looking at each other like, but I feel like trying to figure out which place, it lands. And I think that's why when you get here, you're like, holy crap, I'm lonely. You know what I mean? Like when me and you first met, I had my solid folks at work, but I didn't go outside of work. On the weekends, I was with my children doing their activities. I could talk to my husband and then, the conversation was more about, yeah, and this is how you fix it. Well, I wasn't talking about fixing it.
I just want you to listen.
Yeah, I just wanted, or I wanted you to be like, yeah, let's go kick our ass, or I'll go, like, Black Hawk Down, the things that we say to one another. And there was also no one to talk about him with, and being able to shape some of those conversations when I'm frustrated with him is also truly valuable and has saved my marriage on multiple occasions. Like, well, hold on, because you might be tripping a little bit, But trying all those personalities or those personas on, because some of them are what you want to be, and some of them are what you are striving to be or hope to be, until you shake it out, which I feel sometimes frustrated. Like, damn it, when you keep saying like, Sid and Taya figured it out early. Like, you're like, dang, can you imagine what we would have been if we could have shook this thing out early? If I could have known, late 20s, early 30s, girl, if I would have had y'all right now in the right frame of mind, we wouldn't be able to do no podcast, because we would be
different.
Fortune 500.
It'd be different.
Right.
Fortune 500.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of the journey. I mean, we weren't
Yeah.
supposed to be in each other's lives prior to now. There's a reason that we're connecting now, where we're at in our individual spaces.
Yeah.
But I think too, to your point, you start to lose those toxic friendships. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit, because that for me was part of not feeling healed yet, or accepting things that were not okay, but going with the flow because I've known this person for so long, or that's just how they are, and just moving with it and living with that until I'm like, no, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
Boundary.
Yeah, I didn't have those, and so
Yeah.
you let everybody in because it's okay, or that's how they are, or whatever, and then you set those and they're like, what? And you move differently and they don't like it.
Well, that's when you find out. It's like the purge.
Yes.
Once I put the boundary up, if you can't stay in it or you're offended by it, you can stay out.
Yeah. I think that some people may even say that those real friendships don't even really emerge when you have to make those cuts, or they have to make it past those filters until you get to, unfortunately, this age and stage in our lives. I think that's the difference to friendship right now.
Yes.
For me as a woman versus friendship back then. Some of them purge themselves, right? Which when you start to see yourself differently, you can start to see those traits. Like you start to see jealousy, you start to see like
selfishness.
Yes. You start to see the using bone. Like, I get to go because she can get me in the door, or I get to go because I'm wear something in that closet, or and again, those are 20-year-old things. Don't nobody care about what's in my closet now.
Sneakers and leggings.
That part. Sneakers and leggings, exactly. But when we are kind of breaking it down, the qualities now for me that I think are most valuable in a friendship are so different. So like when, again, going back to the kids, is they're talking about friendship, but then they're not. They're so like they're so much more advanced too. Like so, this summer Eric met a friend.
Oh, he was so cute. He talked about him all the time.
Yeah, Cameron. But when he came out to tell you about Cameron, what were the words that he used when you were like, why are you friends with him? Like, what makes it so special?
I don't know if he ever used specific words, but it was just always like just me and Kim, and then like someone else. Like they were always just together. We're in the same. We're in the same or Game Changers. We're in the same this. Oh my God, he was just so in awe with him all the times. And even now, he's still talking about like this summer, I'm gonna get to see Ken, blah blah blah. Because we don't know what school he goes to or whatever. So.
And I think it's safety.
Yeah.
Because I think
they were always together.
But I also think that while your kids have not been in a school where, like, Taryn is for sure a minority in her school, meaning that she's a black girl. But our kids still do feel isolated, be it that, Autumn is not your typical, she's a published author at the age of 16 years old. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
theater kid.
She's absolutely stunning. She's beautiful. Like, all those things is that sometimes could be isolating. Right. And I just have nothing in common with this mess that's going on right now. I think that consistency, there's like someone who is consistently there, who does what they say they're going to do, who is who they say they are, and I think to weave it into my number one value is loyalty, and I think that safety kind of comes in, is that
100%.
The loyalty, meaning that I'm not saying bend the knee, this is not Game of Thrones, but like, you are who you say you are. I can trust you with my reputation. I can trust you with my children. I can trust you with my money. I can trust you with my heart, because that's the best thing I got to give you. I think that for me was the value, and I think that there was no way for me to get that out of a 20-year-old, because there was no way for me to give it as a 20-year-old.
You don't know who you are.
Well, I disagree a little bit. I think you can do that in your own way. I think it evolves and looks differently. If I'm looking backwards, as I was thinking about our topic, and my closest 3 friends that I've had for the longest amount of time, there were gaps of time where we didn't communicate at all for years, and there was no fallout. There was nothing that happened. There's nothing wrong, right? There wasn't any drama.
Yeah.
Just we were growing in different spaces, and we loved each other. We had nothing wrong, but years went by on each of those 3 people, and then we came back together, and we're like, nothing ever changed, like time didn't pass. So there obviously was a foundation there of some sort to even be able to build off of that and be able to have a separation, if you will, and then come together like nothing, and oh my god, I missed you, and you know, we all collectively had kids, married, divorced, and then we found each other again, insanely, right? But just picked up again. So I think there's something there. Maybe it's not fully developed yet, but there's obviously a foundation that you build, and then you know, become something more yourself, and then you're giving more of yourself to your friends as well later.
I think it's like any relationship. If you're growing together, it works. Like you may miss each other. You might not be in the same chapter, but you're still in the same book. If that makes sense. And you're growing up, and if you can come back together and make it work again, like you said, that foundation when you were younger, you're still standing on that. But as long as you're growing, like I'm not gonna go backwards. Like if you still in the streets, I'm not gonna meet you there. I'm not there. And I think that's the difference, because there's a lot of girls that I know from college. We took different paths. And there's one we're still riding, and we've known each other since I was 17. I mean, and we're still like this. That one stayed. The other one's here and there. But that's part of life. Like you said, there is some foundation, and you have a lot to go back on, because you kind of grew up together. So some of the life events are the same. Like Shay and I, we're sisters, so we've been through the same life events. We see them differently, but the life events were the foundation.
Well, I think that's. Would you guys agree that that's really just a different type of friendship, right? Like there's there is like like when we go to the gym, like I feel like it's so much fun when we're all together. And there's a ton more ladies that are in there, and they're awesome and funny, and I look forward to seeing them. I just don't have their phone numbers, and I don't hang out with them, so they're more casual. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in like no East Coast, West Coast, but then you guys are also talking about, you know, like the long-term friendships, like you guys are talking about. But then there's also people, you know, that you meet and you're just like, I don't know, like I don't know how this happened. Like we're just connected. Like you just click, right? And they're very, some of them are very life-changing, right? Very life-changing. I think that navigating through those are also, because the mama in me will nurture some things that are seasonal, and I have to let those things go. And then there are others, like I have, just by the frame of work that I've been in, they're younger than me, so I've been more nurturing. They're more like my babies, and I will always be there for them. I think I've had some drinks with them on occasions, but not really. It's always been this protector, like I'm guiding,
mentoring.
Yes, always, and it will. That will probably never change in our the dynamic. I just can't see it, because they captured my heart at a time that they needed me, and I feel like I have always been a nurturer. That's just who I am. And I don't know that those dynamics will ever change. I feel like that's with you and Bree and Zane. Like that will always be the dynamic. Like you're
like her mama.
The mama, right? The mama. but also just as much of a value, fills just as much of a niche in our
Yes.
heart, you know. So I think also so important, those mentorship relationships bring us the sense of validation sometimes that we just need. Because I don't know if I'm the only one that talks to Baby Joyce. I'll be like, Baby Joyce, you okay? Girl, everything's okay.
Yeah, I heard you talk to her.
But you know, like you're on the right track, or but when you have those love, I always call my lovelies, those lovelies in your life, they reinforce that, okay, yeah, you are going in the right direction, because they're amazing and brilliant, and they ain't gonna follow you if you a dummy. So you all right, Baby Joyce. Like, just keep going. Everything's gonna be all right. You know? So I think that also recognizing those are also super important. But lastly, the making time. I think at this age and stage, with balancing everything, is the making time for friendship. I know for a fact that all of you have come when you really didn't want to for me, or have probably put on clothes and be like, shit, I do not want to go. Like, what time is this gonna be over? Like, but I'm gonna go, you know. And I appreciate that, because I know that that's what I need right now at this point in time, and I would do the same, you know, for all of you. What does that look like for you guys now? Again, with work and with kids and with balancing everything, when I'm like, hey guys, I think we should just get together and we're gonna do the Great Christmas Challenge. You're like, yeah, I'll come over here for the Great Christmas Challenge. Like,
You make time for things that you want to be a part of, even when you don't want to, at the end of the day. So
You gotta keep a good calendar.
that too.
Like, hold on, when am I free?
Yes.
July 7th.
Right.
We gonna make it happen,
okay?
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my closest friend, we met in college, 17. She's an ER doctor. Imagine me, the audacity of saying, you don't have time for me. You didn't make time for me. She
Out here saving lives, girl.
Saving lives.
I always call her, are you saving lives right now? Okay, call me back.
I love it.
My bad, call me later. She's actually answered a FaceTime call in her scrubs. Are you good? Yes, girl, bye. Like, you got the super suit on. You got your uniform on.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at, and I know, like you said, if I put out the bat signal,
Everybody's
will
coming.
appear.
Yeah.
And that's old school. Now when we go new school, it's to the point now at this table, same dynamic. How do I know that? I just know. You know why? Because I've already been through the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I just know.
Yeah.
I think Mel has a sixth sense because she picks it up faster, I think, than any of us do. Joyce doesn't. Joyce is everybody's nice, and Shay is everybody's nice until they do some dumb shit, and then they go, and then Mel goes,
I told
see?
you so.
I told you that last
And
night.
I knew that.
This is always the last to know. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Okay.
No, like just not having expectations. We all have kids. Like, I'm not gonna be mad if we can't hang out. Da, 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 da. I know you have 4, you have 2, you have 3. Like, we're busy.
Yeah, we got a lot.
We can't always hang out, and that's fine. That doesn't mean anything bad. So I'm just like, we're all doing life. Life is life,
Exactly.
and we get together when we can.
But here's the other thing: is that there's still it's still okay to have expectations on each other too. Like,
Yes.
life is lifing.
Yes.
But I need you, or I need to see you. Like, we need to get together.
Yes.
Like, and especially I think for us, it's like when we're used to seeing each other at
All the
minimum 5 days a week, 6
Yeah, all the
sometimes. Like, we're
Right.
together. Like, it's like there's a right
Yeah,
to
that's
be
the
like,
thing.
hey, I miss you. You know, like. When I get my Rosie Perez text, I know I'll be like, it's me. The other thing I think, just to, because we're going to wrap up, because we've been chatting and we could probably do this one for 2 hours, is one of the things that maybe want to talk about this is that I was a girl that didn't have this level of authentic friendship. And so not having it and having it, I know that there are women out there that are listening that don't know how to have it, right? Like, some of it is like based on hurt. Like, women sometimes are rough to be friends with, right? Rough. what do you guys want to say to them? Like, how do we encourage them? Because no one is out there alone. All of us sitting at the table have had a girlfriend that we thought was a friend completely betray us. It caught us off guard. It is probably something that we could hear a song or smell a smell or look at a shirt and be like, that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And know that that was that girl that did it or the friend that did it. But to encourage to get back out there, because lonely and alone are a terrible combination and it affects everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for one, it's helpful to find a friend who has similar interests as you. So like going to the gym
Yeah.
or whatever it is that your hobby is. If you read books, whatever, finding that person you can connect with on some level helps. I also saw on a TikTok that that if there was some research done, if you have even just one friend that you can text good morning to every single day, how that impacts you. And I just think that is so powerful. There are times that people do feel alone and maybe they don't want to share it, or they are having a hard time or a hard day, and just getting and knowing that someone cares and is saying good morning. Wait, Mel didn't say good morning yet. What's going on? Or you okay? Like that for some people is all that they have. And I think that's so powerful to find your one person. Hey, maybe it's us. Maybe it's your 5 friends here. But finding that one person and trusting, and you are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
There are going to be people that let you down, and it's part of our learning journey here.
Yeah.
And this human experience is to learn those things firsthand and to learn to love and to let go, and all of those things come with it. Hurt is part of that, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately. But it's okay. And it's okay for friendships to end. It's not like you lost something. You learned something from it, good or bad, and everything comes to an end at some point. And ending a friendship is okay. And having that, even when you're not ready for it, even when you wish you could still get going, there's nothing wrong with ending that and moving forward and being wiser for it, for sure.
I would just add on trying new things.
Yes.
Trying new things that you guys chronically push me into new things. And then we pushing Shay into some new things. We like, okay, I'll do it.
Tiptoeing, girl, tiptoe.
But trying new things, I think most of all, like there's obviously like this, we don't have to revisit friendship because there's so many layers to this. But I think that if we could just leave something with our viewers today, it's just that you guys are not alone. We are so delighted that you are listening. We hope something that we said inspired you, and that you got 5 girlfriends right here on My Gym Friends podcast. Until next time, we will see you soon.